good. One quick thing on Rashik. You know, when I first got to Misys about 3 years ago, Rashik through Mike Steinhardt, remember? Said to me, hey, you have something that you may not know you have. And we didn't call it BankFusion. And what did we call it then? Trapeza. So he said, you have something. Because at that point in time, we were competing in HSBC. We didn't win, but you said they almost bought this thing. So that was the beginning of this whole journey that we're on 3 years ago. We weren't even really working on it within Misys. So we got this through IBM, and one thing led to another, and now today is the fruition of a lot of that work. So I just thought I'd share that little inside story. That is true, right? Okay. Okay, Granddaddy, go ahead.
The 60,000 souls in HCL are delighted to be in a strategic partnership with Misys, which we signed just over 2.5 years ago. So we're into our 3rd year. And we work with Misys across all their divisions, from a product development perspective, professional services perspective, and go-to-market, and some hybrid services in between. So HCL's delighted about that and to be nominated as a global partner. We come to BankFusion, and I'll start with a short digression. I said at the internal meeting with the Misys folks in December that on December the 15th, the Dreamliner flew for the first time. And HCL built 38 components of the Dreamliner software, which totaled about 40% of all the software in the aircraft and outside the aircraft. So it's a very proud moment of us to be associated with that particular innovative aircraft. And those of you who know the Dreamliner will know that from the fuselage through to the engine, through to the fuel system and the avionics, it represents innovation from wingtip to wingtip and cockpit to tail. So it strikes us that BankFusion represents the same type of innovation that the Dreamliner represents in the avionics industry, redefining the economics and the environmental aspects of air travel. And I don't think it's any exaggeration at all to see that BankFusion, in the same way, represents a revolution and an innovation in the core banking market. I spoke to a couple of people at Coffee, and I still think Misys and maybe ourselves as partners still need to do a bit more work on convincing you about the process elements of that design in BankFusion. Some people have said, well, is it really unique? Surely competitor X and competitor Y have something similar. They don't. The process generation of BankFusion is unique, and for once in the IT industry, that's an appropriate use of the word. So we're delighted to be involved with that. In terms of the design people, we are already in the development phase of BankFusion in Bangalore, and we already have a go-to-market principle and some financial services ideas which we want to pull forward. The significance for Misys customers, I think it's fair to say that in the past, Misys customers have been somewhat limited by only having access to Misys resources. So it's almost like form an orderly queue and we'll get to you in turn. So the concept of partnering here is that they have a much bigger firmament of offering to reduce bottlenecks wherever they occur. So if it's on the development side, there's a booster plan from HCL. If it's on the professional services side or an implementation side, there's a booster rocket from HCL. And if there's a go-to-market opportunity, it will be defined by the limits of the Misys salespeople. No, it can also include other go-to-market partners like ourselves who can add a boost to the front-end sales proposition. So I think for the Misys users and that new market opportunity, it represents releasing some of the bottlenecks that have been there in the past on professional services, development, and go-to-market. So thanks for inviting me, Mike, and good luck.
Great. Thank you very much, Stuart. That's fantastic.